The Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe gave me so much existential dread in the past few days that I've been playing it that making this video alone has made me reconsider every life choice I've ever made. Let me preface by saying that while I was aware of the Stanley Parable back when it released in 2013, I never played it, and I never watched extensive gameplay of it. The things I remembered was that there was a narrator in the game, and that you had the ability to do things other than what he said Stanley, the player character, was going to do. I saw that the Ultra Deluxe was released recently and decided to take a look at it and see why it gained so much popularity, since, hey, I've never played it, so what was I missing? So naturally, I was woefully unprepared for what I was about to witness. Did I get what I was expecting? What did I even expect? Am I doing a video about this game to capitalize on its current popularity so that I can grow my newborn channel? What? That's so specific. How did you even come to that conclusion? Who told you this? What are you insinuating? I started the game with a cautiously optimistic outlook. Okay.
This is the story of a man named Stanley.
I was certain that the game wasn't what it appeared to be, and with this knowledge I approached the first obstacle with a quizzical mind. This first obstacle, more mental than physical, is a simple one: left or right.
When Stanley came to a set of two open doors, he entered the door on his left.
As dictated by the narrator, Stanley is meant to go through the left door. Instinctively, or rather, like how a child loves to do what their parents specifically instruct otherwise, I went right. This is the moment. This is the moment where you decide to either do what the story is telling you or not. Okay, I'm gonna go with my gut and go on the one on the right. Not because I was trying to inherently spite the narrator, but because I wanted to go off the beaten path. Though, now I think about it, the beaten path is likely the one I took because no one wants to listen to the narrator, right? Maybe so. That seems to be a big point of the game, not listening, doing what you want to do. Okay.
Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't fired years ago.
And I almost want to stop this video here and just let you go play it for yourself, because you really don't want to be spoiled for the ridiculous possibilities in this game. In fact, if you've never played this game before, I'm going to take a few seconds to invite you to play this game before you watch the rest. If you want to stick around and hear me wax philosophical while throwing in some derivative and self-deprecating comedy, be my guest. But you've been warned that I'll be spoiling some of the many route resolutions, including some of the new content. Ready? Alright.
Stanley sat around waiting for more dialogue, but when a long time had passed and there was no more, he decided that the game was trying to send him a message.
Whoa, that is really meta. What the hell? That's kind of making me uncomfortable. I cannot begin to tell you how meta this game is. I mean, it's a player like myself's own dream. Even the startup menu starts to become self-aware. Here, with the freedom you are allowed, ingenuity and individual thinking is rewarded with an alternate ending or separate dialogue. The developer has thought of so many ways to work with what the player might do, and I'm still currently playing to find out the rest. Even though my overthinking has caused my headache to grow to a dangerous intensity, and if someone doesn't hear from me in the next couple days, please call a hospital.
Oh hey, since my game was so awful, why don't we play someone else's game, just to ease the pain? Aha! Fascinating. What do you think this game is about, Stanley?
One of my personal favorite examples of how the game is prepared for any decision is the broom closet. Oh, I can actually open it. It's just a broom closet along the path. You can go in there and find that there isn't anything in there, anything at all, and the narrator acknowledges this.
There was nothing here. No choice to make, no path to follow, just an empty broom closet. No reason to still be here.
Yet the longer you stand in there, the narrator continually gets more and more confused as to why you're still there.
It was baffling that Stanley was still just sitting in the broom closet. He wasn't even doing anything. At least if there was something to interact with, he'd be justified in some way. As it is, he's literally just standing there doing sweet FA.
It eventually comes to a point where the narrator believes the only possible reason that you're still in there is that you're dead, and asks for someone else to take your place.
Well, I've come to a very definite conclusion about what's going on right now. You're dead. Well, in a situation like this, the responsible thing is to alert someone nearby so as to ensure that your body is taken care of before it begins to decompose. Hello? Anyone who happens to be nearby? The person at this computer is dead.
If you leave the closet, he sighs with relief, ready to continue the story. But I personally had something else in mind.
Ah, second player. It's good to have you on board. I guarantee you can't do any worse than the person who came before you.
What if...
You too? Unbelievable. I'm at the mercy of an entire species of invalids.
And honestly, I just think that's crazy. It's not that far of a stretch, but the incredible self-awareness is hysterical to me. In fact, one of the first things the game did was criticize me for how much I was inquisitively interacting with every object I could.
This is a very special room.
Stanley went around touching every little thing in the office, but it didn't make a single difference, nor did it advance the story in any way.
Okay, listen, I'm just checking things out. You never know. There might be something.
And not even the speedrunners are safe. When I was trying to rush through a route to get another ending, the narrator punished me for interrupting him.
The moment he entered his manager's office, Stanley froze in his tracks. Not a living soul anywhere. Could he? Stanley was in such a rush to get through the story as quickly as possible, he didn't even have a single minute to just let the narrator talk. That kind of anxiety isn't healthy, so he relaxed for a few moments with some calming new age music.
Come on.
And these are just a couple examples of how the game reacts to your choices, and just how many routes and endings you can achieve. I'm still poking around the game to see what I missed. Usually, when I play a game, I habitually guess where the story is going to go next. With the Stanley Parable, I couldn't guess at all. The story's path was so capricious and unexpected that I was legitimately saying what at almost every turn.
This is an invitation to myself in post to put together a compilation of every time I say what or any sort of confused expression. What? What the? What? No! What? 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 What the? What the? What? What the fuck? What? What? What?
And that wasn't even all the times I said what. That was just the few that I could find in my constant stream of exasperation with every decision the story made.
As the game constantly tells you during every loading screen, the end is never truly the end. I find myself second-guessing every choice, wondering every time I return to the beginning if the route I'm playing is truly over. I think what puts this, what could be arguably considered as a walking simulator, a cut above the other games, is that it makes you think. Think more than you should, or than you wanted to.
I know this game has been labeled as comedic, or can be found under the comedy tag on Steam, but something I feel I should highlight is that it is also labeled as psychological horror. And this isn't a joke, though a lot of moments I found were some of the most hilarious parts of a game I've ever seen, like the broom closet, there were parts of the game that I felt genuine fear, dread. One of these parts is what is known as the skip button ending. This ending is part of the new content in the Ultra Deluxe, where the narrator has been going through reviews of the original game and comes up with a solution.
What's this one got to say? You constantly have to stop doing anything so the narrator can catch up with his long-winded explanations of what's happening. I wish there was a skip button. A skip button? Well, yes. Yes, I think we can do that. And here it is. Go ahead and give it a shot. I'll pop you forward in time so that the second my incessant droning starts to bore you, with just the push of a button, you'll have zipped right past it.
At first, I thought that this was hilarious, a gag like most of the other parts of the game, but it soon got out of hand.
Till 245. Oh, you're back, you see. You were only frozen in time for a few minutes, but it was plenty of time for me to deliver a long, rambling monologue full of unnecessary verbal flourishes and lengthy ruminations on the nature of choice in video games. Manifesto. Treatise. Manifesto.
Oh god.
Treatise. Well there, sport. You really did catch me rambling on a bit, didn't you? But that's the power of depravity. Okay, welcome back, Stanley. Now, I should say that the amount of time the button has been skipping through is becoming longer and longer. That last one was, well, I want to say maybe 30, 45 minutes? And don't press the skip button. Stanley! Stanley, please don't push the button again. It's been 12 hours.
Oh,
You've just been frozen there. I don't know why the skips are getting longer, but they're really, truly getting longer, and my God, there's no way out of the room. Why did Cookie Nine's opinion matter so much to me? I've never even met Cookie Nine. I have no idea who they are. Oh, Stanley, you're back. You're back. Oh, my goodness. I have someone to talk to again. Oh, hello. It's you. You're here again. Welcome. I have had time to think about you and about us and about everything we've been through. I've had so much time, I stopped keeping track after a year.
can't believe that thing's still working. Oh, wow. You know what? I'm gonna look this up real quick. I believe that specifically is a fire detector, and those things last for 10 years. Which, I guess that's saying how long this has been.
Entertain us! It wasn't enough. They had to leave a pathetic... The end is never the end, is never the end, is never the end, is never the end, is never the...
Oh. How long has it been? Um. Oh, man. Wow. And I don't really know what to say. This game is filled with endings like that, where self-awareness transcends the game. I found myself feeling horrible about the treatment of the narrator. I hated skipping ahead because I felt like I was truly leaving him behind for so long. How long was it though? Well, after being told by the narrator that the first couple skips were in the time span between 10 minutes to an hour, and me later finding out that smoke detectors need to be fully replaced after 10 years, it was clear that the skips were growing exponentially. I did the math, don't ask me about the math though because I'm horrible at math and I could be wrong, but at the rate the skip time was growing, by the time we're at the last one in the desert, it was upwards of 100,000 years. It's no wonder the narrator completely lost it at the halfway point. I've always been a sap at feeling empathy for technology, AI, or otherwise inanimate or inorganic objects, so endings like these were very profound for me. Like the first ending I got, where the narrator trapped Stanley in a loop, saying it was time to stop as he knew I wouldn't listen to him, and pitched that we just stay in one happy place.
Here, yes. Oh, it's beautiful, isn't it? If we just stay right here, right in this moment with this place, Stanley, I think I feel happy.
And though it was indeed a happy, enthralling place, I wanted to move on with the route, and there was only one way.
No, wait. Where are you going? Oh no. Stay away from those stairs. If you hurt yourself, if you die, the game will reset. We'll lose all of this. Please, no, Stanley, let me stay here. Don't take this from me. Stanley, let's go back to the other room. Can you do that for me?
Man.
My God, is this really how much you dislike my game? That you'll throw yourself from this platform over and over to be rid of it? You are literally willing to kill yourself to keep me from being happy. Am I reading the situation correctly?
Each time I threw myself off the stairwell, I felt worse and worse. The narrator isn't even fighting you anymore. He's just questioning why.
Is it over?
Oh,
It's going to restart, isn't it? I'm going back.
And that's it. The narrator knows we're going back. He knows both he and Stanley are going to be reset. An endless game. So, how do I feel about this game? Well, for starters, as a walking simulator, it's unrivaled. I think that the Stanley Parable and its Ultra Deluxe Edition are really special games, and there is so much to cover that I struggled to fit this into a decently timed video. It's all simple, but impossibly complex. Meaningful, while also demonstrating meaninglessness. Every decision you make, every path you choose will always round back to the beginning, as if it never happened. There are a lot of things to learn from this game, and there's also nothing to learn. Perhaps it's all just one big pointless joke. I mean, first I'm trying to free myself from the mind control of my day job, and next I'm playing a quiz game of what is and isn't a bucket.
Item 1. Is this a bucket?
yes.
Incorrect. It is a hologram of a bucket, not an actual bucket. Is this a bucket?
Yeah.
Correct. This is a bucket.
Exactly what I thought.
Is this a bucket?
No.
Trick question. Both. Gotcha.
What?
And let me tell you, I've never seen such emphasis on buckets in a game or any form of media in my entire life. If you want to see it for yourself, I encourage you to check out the game on your own.
And that wraps up this rotation's broadcast. I know that I'm just starting out, but to the ones that stuck around to the end, I just wanted to let you know that I appreciate you. You all inspire me to keep moving and keep creating. Hopefully one day this broadcast will be a whole lot bigger than it is. I hope that I caused either a slight chuckle or a synapse in your brain to fire off in thought. And hopefully I'll see you again. But if I don't, just take care and remember to breathe. The universe still spins on, after all. Later, Spacers.
He turned himself. He turned himself into a pickle, Stanley. A pickle? It was without a doubt the funniest shit I've ever seen.